One glove, one bruise, and a lot of questions. Trump's hand under scrutiny. What is he really hiding? U.S. President Donald Trump has reignited intense health speculation after striking new images from Iowa sent social media into overdrive. On January 27, 2026, Trump was seen moving through diners at the Machine Shed restaurant in Urbandale, Iowa, alongside Representative Zach Nunn of Iowa and his daughter Olympia. But it wasn't his words or the small talk that set off alarm bells.
You all doing all right? You going over to the speech? You going over to the speech? We're going to have a good time. Nice group of people. We'll do whatever's appropriate. You know, we secured the border. Remember that. We secured the border. We did things that nobody thought was possible. We had 25 million people come through the border. When I took over, it was a mess. You take a look at what we did in terms of pricing. So you had gasoline at $4.50. Now it's at $1.99 in many places, a gallon, $1.99.
$1.89 in Iowa, sir.
That's right. What are you there?
$1.89.
$1.89.
As Trump interacted with the crowd, he spoke about immigration and border security. But online, eyes weren't on policy. They were on Trump's black glove, worn on his left hand. Clips from the visit exploded across social media, with users posting comments like, "He's wearing one glove to hide his rotting hand," age creeping up on him, and maybe he's having a Michael Jackson moment. The scrutiny didn't stop there. Later the same day in Iowa, a large purple bruise and visible swelling on Trump's left hand were noticed again, along with discoloration on his right cheek.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, and I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of Iowa with so many proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. It's an amazing state. What a place. Boy, do we have some victories here. Were they the greatest? So exactly 2 years ago this month, it was the people of Iowa who put us on a rocket ship back to the White House. It was a rocket. That was a quick one. After a rigged election, we had a rigged election. I said, "Do we do it again?" And I said, "I think we better do it again." Not too many people would have said that. But we did so well the second time, I said, "Well, we won twice, we got to do it a third time." Should we do it a fourth time? Four victories. Four victories. We got the right team over there. The right team over there. That would be easy for you. That wouldn't even be work. But you came out by the thousands on a cold and snowy winter evening. Remember that beautiful evening? And together we won the Iowa caucuses in a 30-point landslide. That was great. I'll never forget it. It was so freezing. You think it's cold now? That blew it away. Whatever happened to global warming? You know? Now it's, it's like one of those things. But it was the coldest night. I remember it was way below zero. And they say, "Sir, you don't have to come till 10 or 11 o'clock because the caucus takes longer." Then I got a call at, let's say the polls closed at 7. "Sir, you've won." I said, "I won what?" They told me 10 o'clock. They can't announce. They said, "You won by so much." They just called it at 1 minute after 7. So, right? So we made the journey. And we made that journey through all the cars and everything else, and we made a speech, but what an evening that was. Then in November, we won the state by a massive landslide. That was incredible in the election. And we then went on to win all swing states, all 7 of them. They said 7 swing. Well, he could win 4 of them. He's doing very well, but we won 7. We won the Electoral College 312 to 226. We won the popular vote for the first time of any Republican in many decades by millions and millions of votes. And we won a category that's very important. We won 86% of all counties in America, 2,700 to 525. How about that? Other than that, we didn't do too well. So now we're back where it all started to celebrate the greatest first year of any administration in American history. They say that. Even the radical left is saying, only we did a lot of things. 12 months ago, Joe Biden handed us a mess. We inherited the legacy of record high inflation, the highest inflation in the history of our country. They say the fake news, ooh, that's a lot of fake news. No, the fake news said it's 48 years. I remember recently I said the highest inflation, the worst, I believe this, by the way, worst in the history of our country. They said it wasn't the worst, it was 48 years. I said, that's okay too. Somehow that sounds even worse than when you say the history, right? 48 years, I accepted that, but I think it was in the history. A mass invasion of our border and our country was being laughed at all over the world. We were being laughed at, we were a joke. Yeah, we're not a joke anymore. We're not a joke, we're not being laughed at anymore. But today, just after 1 year of President Trump, our economy is booming, incomes are rising, investment is soaring, inflation has been defeated, our border is closed, totally closed. And America is respected all over the world like they've never been respected. 1 year, I thought it would take us 2 years. I guess I'm following in the great path of John Deere. We got the chairman of John Deere here. Chairman and CEO, that's pretty good.
The White House has previously claimed such bruising was due to frequent handshaking and Trump's daily aspirin use for cardiac purposes, according to Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt and members of the communications team. Still, questions linger. Trump, 79, has acknowledged suffering from chronic venous insufficiency, causing swollen ankles. He has also been seen dozing off at public events and delivering speeches marked by slurred words and lost trains of thought. The White House insists the president simply doesn't sleep much and works very hard, but the glove, the bruises, and the swelling are fueling a louder question online. Is the president hiding an illness, or is this all being overblown?
Thank you. You all doing all right? You going over to the speech? You going over to the speech? We're going to have a good time. Nice group of people. We'll do whatever's appropriate. You know, we secured the border. Remember that. We secured the border. We did things that nobody thought was possible. We had 25 million people come through the border. When I took over, it was a mess. You take a look at what we did in terms of pricing. So you had gasoline at $4.50. Now it's at $1.99 in many places, a gallon. $1.99.
$1.89 in Iowa, sir.
That's right. And what are you there?
We're $1.89.
$1.89. He's a very honorable man. He doesn't make up stories. $1.89. When I took over, you were $4.50, $3.50, $5 all over the place. Now we have prices coming way down. But remember, we secured the border. Crime is down all over the country. We just had a crime report coming out from, I think, one of the networks, which they hate to hear this, but crime is the lowest number ever recorded. Yeah. So, we talk about Minnesota, but in Minnesota, you probably read, their crime is way down. You know why? Because we took out thousands of criminals out of Minnesota, and that's why it's good. So anyway, but we have Tom Homan is over there. We all love Tom.
Yeah,
he met with the governor, met with the mayor. He's going to meet with the mayor, I guess, and it's going very well. But remember this, even Minnesota, their crime is down. And you know why it's down? Because of what we did. We took out thousands of criminals, career criminals, bad criminals, people that came in from Venezuela. By the way, how did we do in Venezuela? Not bad, right? No, but people that came in from countries all over the world. They came from the Congo. They came from all over South America, all over Latin America, all over Africa. They came from everywhere. and they came out of prisons in many cases. They came out of mental institutions in many cases. And we're getting them out, and we got a lot of them out. But we have now the safest country we've ever had. Washington, D.C. went from being a crime-ridden place to a place that has virtually no crime in a period of a couple of months. So we're very proud of what we've been able to do. And this is a state that's been with me all 3 times, right?
Since the very beginning, boss. Very beginning.
I'd like to give it another one, too, if you want.
Mr. President, why did you decide?
Yeah, I'm going to do a lot of traveling. I think so. I mean, I like traveling to places. I love this place. This was the beginning of my politics, right?
That's right.
It treated me well right from the beginning.
Mr. President,
do you feel that the
Say what?
Mr. President, why did you decide to shake up your leadership team in Minnesota and send Tom Homan?
I do that all the time. I shake up teams. Everybody here, these are a lot of owners of farms and places, and you shake up your team. If they can't do the crops fast enough, look, we have an incredible team. We did something that nobody said was possible. We didn't go back to Congress and ask for legislation. We closed the border. And in the last 8 months, they have, and this is actually hard to believe, nobody crossed the border, right? Nobody. They say nobody. I don't even know if that's possible. But, it's Democrats that do the report. It's a very liberal group that does that report. It's a very important report. And for 9 months, I guess 8 months, 9 months, we have nobody coming into our country unless they come in legally. We want them to come in legally. You need people to work for you. But we did something that I would say people thought that was absolutely impossible, and we were able to do it. So we're very honored by what's happened to our country. In addition, we have $18 trillion coming in, building plants, building auto factories, building AI factories. Like no other country in the world has done what we've done in the last year. And I think it's the most successful first-term president. There's never been a year like this in the history of the country. He's been with me from the beginning, this guy. Make sure, take good care of him. He's been with us. So, I'm going around. And I'm going around because hopefully we win the midterms. And it's very scary because, it's 2 out of 50 years or something like that.
That's right.
For some reason, when a president wins, Republican or Democrat, even if they're a good president, and hopefully I'm a great president, based on the first year, I'm a great president. And we had a great first term, too. People don't know. We rebuilt our military. We had phenomenal financial numbers. But I think this term's blowing away really every term. But traditionally, when a president gets elected, out of, I think, 50 years, they've had 2. One, I don't understand it.
You're going to be the next.
We've had 2, so we have to, and one was by unusual circumstance. So there's something psychological. If you win the president, whether you're Republican or Democrat, with that being said, the polls look very good. Everything looks very good. And you have great congressmen here, with congressmen and women here, and we love Iowa. We love Iowa. And I think didn't I just give the farmers $12 billion, right?
$66 billion in total.
Well, I gave total 66. But just recently we gave the farmers $12 billion because they were treated unfairly by foreign countries. I said, how much? They said $12 billion. I said, they got it. You know where I got it? Tariffs. I got it from the tariffs. We got the tariffs. And again, most of these, we right now have more factories and plants being built in our country than we've ever had before. That came in because they're coming because they don't want to pay the tariffs. So I said, if you build here, you don't have to pay tariffs. So it's great.
Mr. President, you talked a lot about...
Mr. President, with the current value of the dollar, do you think it's declined too much?
No, I think it's great. I mean, the value of the dollar, look at the business we're doing. No, dollar's doing great. It's very interesting. If you look at China and Japan, I used to fight like hell with them because they always wanted to devalue their yen. You know that? The yen and the yuan. And they'd always want to devalue it. They devalue. And I said, not fair that you devalue because it's hard to compete when they devalue. But they always fought, no, our dollar's very good.
About Minnesota, Mr. President, some of your own administration officials have labeled Alice.
By the way, this is ABC fake news, this one. She hasn't asked me a good question in years. I think a nice woman, but I don't really like her too much. Go ahead. What'd you say? I'd say ABC's about as bad as they get.
like to see the dollar's value decline more. Would that be
No,
helpful?
I'd want it to be just seek its own level, which is the fair thing to do. You could have it. I could have it go up or go down like a yo-yo. I'll give you an example. Unemployment. I could create the greatest unemployment numbers or employment numbers ever. All I have to do is hire 3 million people and put them into the federal government, and you have 10 people, for one job, right?
That's right.
And what we've done is we've cut the federal employees, and they've gone to the private sector. But if I wanted, I could hire 1 million people tomorrow, put them in the federal government, and she'd be writing a story. Unbelievable employment. Unbelievable employment.
Do you agree with the assessment?
But we have great unemployment numbers.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Is there one number that's bad? Can you tell? Is there one number that's bad? There's not one.
Do you agree with the assessment from some of your own officials that Alex Preddy is a domestic terrorist or an assassin?
Well, I haven't heard that, but certainly he shouldn't have been carrying a gun. But hey, look, bottom line, everybody in this room, we view that as a very unfortunate incident. Okay?
right.
Everyone,
That's
unless
right.
you're a stupid person, very, very unfortunate incident. I don't like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had 2 fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff. And despite that, I say that's a very unfortunate.
Do you think that some Republicans are saying
You said you are the de facto president of Venezuela. I don't know, maybe you were joking when you said that. Is the U.S. a de facto member of OPEC right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, we are a very strong presence in Venezuela. We're going to get a lot of money for Venezuela. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world, with the exception, I think, of our country.
Yep.
And it's bigger than Saudi Arabia. And we had a very strong moment with Venezuela a couple of weeks ago. And we are working beautifully with Venezuela. I will tell you, they're going to do better now than they ever did, than they've done ever at any point. And we're going to be making a lot of money for them and a lot of money for our country. We have a very good relationship with the leaders of Venezuela, and we're going to keep it that way.
What are your plans, Mr. President? What are your plans for Cuba, Mr. President?
Well, we're going to see what happens with Cuba. I don't know. Anybody interested in Cuba in this room? Not too many people. This is not a Cuba room, but that's all right. There are plenty of them around, especially in Miami. And Cuba will be failing pretty soon. Cuba is really a nation that's very close to failing. They got their money from Venezuela. They got the oil from Venezuela. They're not getting that anymore.
You were talking about the polls earlier. Clearly, your base is with you, strong and stronger. They're very
Stronger than. Oh, by the way, our base is with us. I think they're the best poll numbers, the real poll numbers. I think we have the best poll numbers we've ever had. Think of it, if I were to run again, would anybody be happy? So we have the best poll numbers we've ever had. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. President.